is Saturday, March 6, 2021. I am the coach, and this is the Early Edge presented by SportsLine. We got a busy day today. Coming off a winning night, albeit just a little bit. We started off 2-0 in college basketball, and then a last-second three to beat us, Colorado State. But today I said is a busy day. In addition to this show, we have a special UFC 259 only episode of the Early Edge with our guy Ian Parker. It's in your feed right now. Turn on those notifications. Just go there and watch it. We have all the best bets tonight. 15 fights on the card. So if you want all the knowledge, go watch that special episode of the Early Edge. Let's bring in our cappers this morning. No winners in our perfect parlay contest, but I have a little eerie feeling we're going to have a winner today. Right next to me, he's got Chief in the house. M Squared, what's up, man?
Not much, Coach. We do have a dog of the day, and Chief looks like he's a little early. Didn't get the memo that didn't come till later in the show, but we're pumped up to be here. A lot of college basketball action today.
That's awesome. It's all about the entrance for Chief, all about the entrance. And you see the face right below me. You know it's a Saturday. You know it's time for round 3 at the API. Rick G, what's up, man?
What's going on, Coach? Yeah, Chief missed his cue by a minute or two there. We'll work on that for next time, but happy to be here. Let's get some winners.
Let's do it. Let's jump in real quick to our storylines that could affect the betting lines. And I know there is no NBA today, so Mikey, we're going to skip you. But Rick, kind of give us an idea of some storylines that could affect things at the API.
Yeah, I think there's two things. There's one that's kind of weekly, what we've seen here at Bay Hill, and then one what we're going to see here on Saturday. So for the week, Bay Hill, one of the big features of the Florida Swing are these Bermuda grass greens. They tend to be easier to putt on. So you've seen guys who have a lot of success in Florida, like Rory McIlroy, like Sung Jae Im, continue to putt well on these specific surfaces. And then it kind of allows some of the poor putters to find a way to get the ball in the cup. You're looking at guys like Corey Connors and Paul Casey near the top of the leaderboard. So I think that's going to continue. And then Saturday, we've got weather in the forecast. So the PGA Tour has implemented preferred lies, which means if you are in the fairway, you're going to be able to pick up your ball, mark it, wipe it off, make it nice and clean, put it back down. So a little bit of an emphasis on accurate drivers of the golf ball, because if you can have ball in hands, Coach, it's a big advantage out there at Bay Hill.
It is a big-time advantage. And by the way, some of the early start times are already out on the course. So when Rick G gives out his plays, go and play them right now, because you never know when they're going to tee off. All right, we're doing a little giveaway. No, a big giveaway here at the Early Edge. If you go to SportsLine, Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review on Monday's show, we're going to give away 5-year-long subscriptions to SportsLine. You're going to get the cappers. You're going to get all the simulations, everything for free, but you got to be entered. Also, leave your Twitter handle so we can get a hold of you on Monday. Speaking of SportsLine, we had to get ahead of the game. The jeweler said, you know what, Coach? We cannot have a Saturday of college hoops without the Maestro somehow being involved, because last week you guys just yelled at us all day long on social media. So our SportsLine app plays of the day, you know what we did. We went to the Maestro, and we've got 2 of them. Our first play today, Ohio State -2 against Illinois. Matt Severance is also on the Buckeyes today. And then Butler +12.5 against Creighton. Creighton is the better team here, but they've had a lot of distractions this week with their head coach. They got blown out by Villanova, and Butler getting 12.5, a great spot here to capture those points. All right, it's time for our board. M Squared, give it to me.
All right, Coach, we got 3 plays. We're going to start with Chiefs dog of the day, actually. We're going back to the Bonnies here. They're +2 in the A-10 semifinal against St. Louis, and Chief says the wrong team is favored here. In our simulations, we make them -1.5. Look for them to carry some of that momentum after the big win yesterday here. They're the more consistent team. And then the other thing that I care about most between these 2 teams, especially when they're playing another back-to-back set here, this St. Bonaventure team is one of the slowest paced teams in the country. They are very well controlled. They're very disciplined. I like them here. I like what I saw from them, especially on the offensive boards yesterday. If they can continue anything close to that, this should be another spot where they can pick up a win. So give me St. Bonaventure +2. I would grab it now. I do think it closes a little bit closer to a pick 'em here against St. Louis. My second game, Kentucky Wildcats -7.5 against South Carolina. This Kentucky team, obviously, it's been a very, very frustrating year for them, 8-15 against the spread. I think they're a much better team than that number indicates, especially at this point in the season. They're playing against South Carolina, who has also had an equally disastrous season here. But what South Carolina does is they play with the 8th quickest tempo in college basketball. That is a recipe for disaster against a team that's better than you defensively. Kentucky is most definitely the better team defensively. My simulations make this one just over -9 for Kentucky. I will lay the -7.5, considering Kentucky is at home on their home floor with an early start time here on a Saturday morning. And then finally, Villanova -4.5. We all know Connor Gillespie he's ruled out for the rest of the season. Devastating blow to them in terms of actual aspirations to win the national title. However, they are simply the much better team over Providence. They still have a very loaded roster. We look at Connor Gillespie. He is the heart and soul of that team, and he is very good. However, one thing we do as humans, right, is we tend to over and sometimes under, but a lot of times overestimate the impact of a player in general. And that's what's going on here. You can get them at -4.5. This line should be at least -6.5, -7. So you're getting some nice value here. I like Villanova. I have to play them when they're -4.5 against Providence.
That's an incredibly good point, and I think it happens more times than we notice and that we can pick out on certain games on the card. All right, Mikey, thank you very much. All right, it's time to go to the API. Rick G., the floor is yours.
Yeah, let's do it, Coach. You mentioned some of these guys are already out on the course, so this one tees off within the hour. You're going to want to get on this quickly. It's Maverick McNeely over Steve Stricker. Steve Stricker, the worst strokes gained approach of any player who made the cut this week. That is a very important stat. Some would argue it's the most important stat, and he's the worst guy who made it to the weekend in that category. Maverick McNeely, on the other hand, he's played well recently. He's coming in, gaining over 2 strokes from tee to green, so I like the way that he sets up for Bay Hill over the course of this third round matchup. That goes off at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time. And then Lee Westwood plus 120, little plus money over Christian Bezuidenhout, which these two golfers could not be coming in any more different into round 3. Westwood has all of the positives. He's 10th in strokes gained tee to green. Bezuidenhout on the opposite end of it, he's riding a hot putter. He's 5th in strokes gained putting, which is 4 strokes over expectation through just 2 rounds on the putting surfaces. I expect regression back to the mean. Bezuidenhout to come back down to his baseline. Westy to continue to play well. So I've got Westwood over Bezuidenhout. That goes off at 12:55 p.m. Eastern time, Coach.
All right, man. I like those breakdowns, certainly. All right, we are up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here we go. Thank you, Jeweler. M Squared, his recap first. His Chiefs dog of the day. The Bonnie, St. Bonaventure, +2. Can they cash for us 2 days in a row? We think so. And then Kentucky, -7.5 over the Fighting Frank Martins of South Carolina. Then Villanova, -4.5 over Providence. That's a 2:30 Eastern tip, by the way. All right, Rick G., he likes McNeely over Stricker, and then Westwood over Bezuidenhout, +120. We like any +20. By the way, you're welcome on the SportsLine app play of the day, +175 in the NHL last night. And finally, from the Maestro, our SportsLine app plays of the day, Ohio State -2 over Illinois, and Butler +12.5 against Creighton. You've got your marching orders, and I've lost my voice. Let's take all these tickets, and don't forget, go watch that special episode of The Early Edge with Ian Parker to get you set for UFC 259. It's going to be a busy day. We're going to cash tickets. We're going to take them straight to the pay window. For Rick G., Rick Run Good, M Squared, for Chief, for the Jeweler, and for the Maestro. Enjoy your day off, sir. This is the only place for your daily Early Edge. Good luck.